Yeah, just tell them, take it away from the top, and we should be good.
I hate to ask you to do this, but do you feel like kicking that off from the top?
Sure.
Okay.
I greatly appreciate a second chance.
Right on. Thank you, I appreciate it.
Right on. So my name is Nick Simino. I'm an instructor in the Computer Information Technology Department at Delgado Community College. Also joining me this evening is going to be Claude Richard. He's also an instructor in the game development concentration, as well as the rest of the Computer Information Technology program. So a little bit about that. Computer Information Technology is a two-year associate's degree here at Delgado Community College with a concentration in game development. And we've had some recent program changes. The coursework was formerly titled Game Design, but based on industry feedback and kind of how we're aiming to prepare students for industry, we have kind of focused more on this kind of program and kind of software development, because that fits a greater alignment to the rest of our computer information technology degree, and that was in response to industry feedback we got about preparing our students for employment. As I was saying, maybe you've heard before, Delgado is positioned, it is our intention to help graduate students into industry, but having seen some of the opportunities that are available at our four-year institutions here at the state of Louisiana, I don't know that a student could go wrong kind of pursuing a variety of opportunities downstream of Delgado Community College. So it's exciting to be here and to see all of those other things that are in concert with the work that we're doing here at Delgado. Again, I'm kind of going over the dry parts first, and we're going to get to the exciting parts next, but just a little bit about our program. So as I was saying, this is a two-year associate's degree. That's a 60 credit hour engagement. And usually this covers anybody who studies computer information technology at Delgado. It's going to take these fundamental foundational courses regarding the logic and design associated with software development, kind of the fundamentals of the computer systems, some information about HTML, CSS, JavaScript, those kind of things, information security, Java, and things like this. As part of our degree requirements, you will take 5 general education courses, but after that you have the ability to specialize. So we have a programmer and analyst specialization, we have web developer and design specialization, information security and assurance, but here we have our game developer concentration. And you can see some of the changes that we've made more recently is incorporating the C++ coursework. I have a student in that course who has come to us from a oil and gas kind of background, but he's learning this and kind of intermingling with his classmates and learning more about game development. And that is really one of the key things that I find to be exciting about Delgado, both as an instructor and what I can witness from the students, is just the variety of people and the different backgrounds that they have as they come to the courses really provides a richness and just a breadth of ideas that is really fun to be a part of. We have these 2 focused game development courses that Claude can speak to, perhaps during the question session. We've got this user experience and prototyping, this kind of interactive at the more general level coursework, and then students have the opportunity to take a variety of electives in support of the concentration. So this totals out to be about 60 credit hours, 20 courses, 5 courses a semester across 2 years. We have summer courses that can help speed things up, but something that we did more recently that was exciting in conjunction with the Jefferson Parish Public Schools was to create a fast forward initiative. So what that means is that students who are currently in high school have an opportunity, this is mapped out at the Louisiana Department of Education level, to basically complete their high school education in the first 2 years of high school. And then if they do it all right, kind of the expectation might be that they would be able to receive an associate's degree before graduation of high school. And that's part of this Louisiana Fast Forward initiative. Unfortunately, the documentation about specifically how that's laid out is not posted on the Louisiana Department of Education website yet, but it's built such that you do not have to complete the whole thing. There are a variety of off-ramps. So, a student may enroll in this initiative and take a variety of classes at Delgado, but still be able to receive a few different industry-based credentials that would help satisfy their high school graduation requirements. But if you were able to take it the whole way, you would have the ability to achieve an associate's degree before you graduated high school. So that's something that was just approved this year. We're very excited about that. So, if you're a high school counselor or interested in how you might be able to deliver that to your students, The best recommendation would be to get in touch with myself or Claude Richard to figure out kind of how the credits would map out for that. But that's just another opportunity that's available here at Delgado Community College. Speaking again about the community of folks and kind of what's happening on campus, again, Claude Richard here is the moderator of the reformed post-COVID Delgado Gaming Club. So these are students who, not only as part of their coursework, but extracurricularly are talking about games. They recently hosted a Smash Brothers tournament on campus, and this is kind of where our esports looks to blossom from. This is something that is also in development on campus here at Delgado. So that's a little bit about kind of the coursework expectations and how you're gonna go through those and the different kind of extracurricular things that are happening on campus, the industry-based credentials that we were able to help prepare you for. Something else that I kind of want to point out, because it also kind of strikes me, just the variety of things that are available to students at Delgado. I know that we're talking about game development, but if you look at the academic catalog, kind of the list of the programs that are available at Delgado, I'm trying to find the best link, just pardon me a second, but it's really astounding. I think Delgado has something over 70 different programs. So in the event that you're studying this and there's just something else that you're interested in learning about, the variety of things that are available here for students is almost astounding. My goodness. Couldn't have been better timed. But I do encourage you to go visit catalog.dcc.edu, and that is where you would typically find a full listing of the variety of programs that Delgado Community College has to offer. But this is the one that we're excited to talk about this evening, our game development concentration as part of our computer information technology associate's degree. So the last thing that I wanted to share as part of just a quick information about our work is again, the student work. What is actually happening on campus here? So we have a few different games, and perhaps you'd be interested in watching me play, but those are the screenshots. Here we go. We've got students who are kind of doing their entry-level coursework in GB Studio, just kind of figuring out those, what does it mean to make a game and the mechanics associated. But then, later on, we've got students who are making materials in the Unity engine for distribution. We do have a large focus on project-based learning. Again, just from industry feedback, it really is a student's portfolio that really allows them to stand out. So that's something we're certainly emphasizing here at Delgado Community College. So I hope I'm coming within my 10, but that's kind of the high level. If you have any other questions, I'd be happy to talk to you. But I guess in short, my favorite thing about what's happening at Delgado, it's in the name, it's the community, it's the people who are there. Claude Richard is an incredible instructor, and I'm honored to have him as a colleague. And just the students and people I get to work with, I love what I do, and thanks for having me.
Thank you very much. Appreciate you, Nick. That looked very informative. Right on. Yeah, we're really doing quite well for time here. So next up, we've got Donald from Academy of Interactive Entertainment. I'm just going to quickly
let me know if things are good.
There we go. Right on.
All right, everything good? I can, all right, cool. So, actually, keep myself. I'm gonna put a timer on myself. Hi everybody. Wait, let me just actually share a screen. First, the correct screen and sharing sound, optimized for video.
We got it down to the science.
There we go. Is that coming through okay? I'll assume yes.
Yeah, looks good.
So hi everybody.
Looks good.
My name is Donald Grimion, and I am a game art instructor at AIE, or Academy of Interactive Entertainment. So this is our website, lafayette.aie.edu. I'll probably point back to it by the end of the session. Let me get to my presentation. Okay. So what is AIE? So we're a specialist game and film educator, 2-year college established by industry, working with alumni with studios around the world. So again, my name is Donald Grimion. I teach game art and animation at the school, and if you'd like to contact me, that's my email address, donaldgrimion@aie.edu. Talking a little bit about my background. So I got my start after graduation, working with research groups and doing stuff with Army Research Lab, working a bit in film, working a bit in mobile gaming. And occasionally I'll still do work and contract or personal development on my own game projects. But as far as the school goes, our campus is located in Lafayette, Louisiana, and we're located in the Light Building, or the Big Giant Egg. But we also have campuses located in Seattle, Washington, and several in Australia. So all the tracks that we teach, so we teach now, it's going to be 4 tracks. We teach 3D animation, VFX for film. We teach game art and animation, game programming, and game design and production is our newest track. Like I said before, these are our course is 2 years of technical coursework in all 4 of the track and 3 of the tracks being offered. We are recently adding professional game development for game design and production. But each of these is a certificate, or advanced diploma is what we call it. But in addition to that, we also offer an Associate of Occupational Studies in VFX, game art and animation, or game programming, which on top of the 2 years of technical coursework, there's an additional semester taking general education courses to kind of upgrade your diploma into an associate degree. I'm going to be a bit biased because I teach art, so I'll focus a lot of my talk about art. But in terms of like the actual coursework, what are you learning, and what are you getting out of the program? In year 1, game art and VFX share a lot of the same subjects and share a lot of the same deliverables, and it really splits off into year 2, where we concentrate on game art and VFX. So starting off, students learn how to manage and create 3D models and try to match more photorealistic graphics, proper modeling and texturing techniques using Maya, Photoshop, Substance Painter. And then we get a little bit more advanced in learning a bit more about ZBrush and more lighting and more optimization, especially for games. Optimization is a big thing. And then we learn a bit about animation, how to make stuff move, how to actually animate objects moving within scene. So here's an example of using the principles of animation, things like anticipation, squash and stretch, follow through, overlap, to make sure that the movements feel realistic and are given a proper sense of weight. Then we get into a bit of character design, character pipeline. So the students are given kind of jumping off point and saying, design a character within these parameters, within a Disney Infinity style, and they're given 6 weeks to develop a concept art, sculpting, retopology, and rigging of a character to pose it like an action figure. Then between the VFX and game art classes, they kind of split off. The VFX class learns a bit about more of compositing in terms of film, like a background plate, and the CG object being something like the headphones here, while the game art students learn a bit about lighting in a real-time engine, in this case, lighting within Unity, and they're given assets and told how to create optimized lighting and cutscenes for a game. By the end of this, you're learning other subjects, including character animation, and all this stuff leads towards the end of year 1, where we're actually working towards an actual production. And we're creating an actual game during this process in collaboration with the game art and game programming and game design students. Typically, we try to do something a little bit smaller in scope, like an arcade-style game, like pinball, or kind of reskinning like a Galaga or space shooter. VFX students are usually, pair up with a client, local client that is developing non-for-profit and have a need for like a commercial or an advertisement. So like an escape room, healing house, or children's youth theater group. But more specifically in game art and animation, in year 2 courses, this is where they really dig in and really better understand industry standard workflows and getting exposure to other tools, more specialized tools within game development, within 3D art, using Unreal, learning more about particle systems, learning more, again, more about optimizing their lighting and, you know, volumetric fog, and kind of developing their own sense of style, and better match what their goals are for their portfolio. They're learning a bit about graphical user interface, how to create user interface buttons and some light functionality to go along with it. Then they kind of better learn how to specialize more towards what they want to have in their portfolio and their concentration. So for game characters, they kind of say, okay, well, I want to make a bipedal humanoid character, or I want to make a giant monster hunter snake creature, or, you know, my character, quote unquote, interactive gameplay model is a vehicle or a spaceship. I kind of let them kind of work within those boundaries. And then we get into the major production. So this is a year 2 collaborative project with other tracks, and students are pitching their game ideas and actually getting feedback along those pitches, and then moving into actual production, where we follow kind of sprint reviews every 2 weeks, check in and make sure that everyone's working with each other and working towards their common goal of developing games by the end of that 15 or 16-week process. So some examples here, like an airship battle game versus First Frost, which is more kind of a stealth, casual platformer, more environment-friendly game where a character can jump and traverse, all patched up as like 2D side-scroller, 2.5D side-scroller game. Keep an eye on my time right now. Animation VFX students will continue to learn a bit about more digital lighting and compositing effects. And again, you know, game engines come into play here because during these subjects, such as visual effects or even specialization, they'll start learning other tools such as Unreal Engine. In addition to what they normally use, stuff like, you know, Nuke or other tools like Marvel's Designer for cloth simulation, Houdini for explosions, and other kind of tools. Specialization, this would be more animation focused. It depends on the student what they want to go in. Specialization topic, they kind of develop a research topic. And moving into their own major production, which is developing a short film. But all the while, all the students, by the end of their, you know, coursework, they're all developing pieces for their portfolio to actually go and apply, you know, have an online presence on places like LinkedIn, put it on places like ArtStation, Vimeo, or other such places for their artwork to exist or animation work to exist. So we teach various software packages, especially for the art side. There's a ton of them. Primarily, we teach Maya, ZBrush, you know, Photoshop, the Substance Painter, Substance Designer tools, as well as Nuke, Marvel's Designer I mentioned for clothing. We teach both game engines, Unity in year 1, Unreal in year 2, and things like Houdini, or, you know, even more specialized things as the need arises. But we always encourage students, once you've gotten graded on, you know, what you need to get graded on, such as your knowledge of Maya or ZBrush, we encourage them, if they want to play around with other tools such as Blender, feel more than free to do that kind of stuff. But it's not necessarily all just games, as other presenters have mentioned. There's game and app development. Students have gone to work in virtual reality and augmented reality, military projects, 3D printing, architectural visualization, and things such as film. In addition to that, our other tracks would include game programming, you know, writing instructions and problem solving, kind of skip around, talking about overall, they're learning, students are learning about C#, C++, artificial intelligence, cross-platform development, learning how to work within a game engine, all of this stuff and leading towards those combined courses. As well as within year 2, learning about physics for games, computer graphics, how do we rasterize an image for the screen. And again, the end of the year 2 subjects is developing their projects in collaboration with other tracks. But a typical day at AIE will be treated like a work day, rather than 2 hours of, one subject and 2 hours of this subject spread throughout a day. It's several weeks worth of this one subject, with the day structured like a work day, being lecture and live demo for a few hours, and then exercise and lab work, and split off, for the day in that kind of fashion. And especially with a lot of review time, a lot of in-class time for instructors to walk around and check work, make sure they're on the right track. The game design and production track is a new one, where the designer and producer roles are more heavily emphasized, where the designer is someone who produces the intended experience, and producer is someone who makes sure that everybody stays on deadline and within a budget. So some subjects that are taught, or some concepts that are taught, are things like level design, more in depth, player psychology, and overall just project scoping and prioritization. Planning and scheduling is a big thing, especially in game development. Because game developers were really bad at budgeting and really bad at estimating our time. But the idea is that with this additional track, we'll be able to help, especially our major production projects, so that way we can find the fun between, not just working only alongside artists and programmers, but fill in the gaps where artists and programmers may falter. That being said, just want to play a quick video to kind of showcase some of the really awesome work that our students have done for their combined classes. So I'm going to go ahead and hit play.
Cool.
Okay. Thanks for listening. If you would like more information about the school, please check out our website, lafayette.aie.edu, or you can scan the QR code right here. So thank you very much.
Right on. Thank you very much, Donald. I always love seeing Good paper blaster game. Sweet. All right. So next up, we've got John Carboni with Operation Spark.
Might need to check your mic, John.
Yeah, I think you're on mute still.
Hi. I'm old.
Perfect.
Okay, y'all can hear me good? Sorry, I was actually like trying to get the sound for the video to like play and all that, so I was a little bit like, you know, four thumbs trying to get in here. So I'm John, I'm happy to be here. I'm here with Operation Spark, and I just want to thank Chris and co over at the game.
Pleasure to have you.
Audio went away again.
You cannot hear me? You can hear me now? That is so weird. Okay, so, and I want to thank the other presenters. We get to do this annually, come out to the game developers group, and last year we were all, well, most of us were all here anyway. And it's just good to see everybody and to see all the development going on in this area and everybody's programs kicking some butt and all and doing good stuff. So it's really wonderful to see everybody again. Operation Spark, we're a little bit different of a school. We're more like a trade school, and our programs are typically a little bit more concentrated. In other words, they're shorter and more frequent in the practice that you do when you come and study with us. We generally have 2 tracks, one for high schoolers and one for adults, a workforce program for adults. And one of the workforce programs we have is pretty well known in the area now. It's called Immersion. It takes about 6 to 8 months to get through it. The last 4 months of it are full time. You're here every day, practicing every day in teams, working as if you're kind of on a job type of thing. And it gets you to the level of a junior software developer, and then we get you a job on the other side of that. So in 6 to 8 months, you go from zero knowledge to a $70,000 job as a junior software engineer. And we have veritably, I think right now, 98% graduation employment rate and 100% retention for all of our grads. So it's a bit different model from the university thing. Our goal is to try to get you to the high wage workforce as fast as possible with little to no debt. And that's our deal. Now, in our high school program, which I presented on before, we have video game programming already. We have a course for video game programming, and it's a really interesting program where you learn to actually build a little physics engine. You build the engine from scratch, and you learn how to animate in code. It's not like using Unity or Unreal Engine or a gaming platform. You actually build the platform as you go through the course. And so you learn really how the very fundamental concepts of programming animation and then programming games. And then you build some games. And that course is really fun. It's really cool to see what the grads come up with, or the students come up with at the end of each semester when we run that course. But this summer we're going to be launching some Unity programming, video game programming, and that is going to be for both our high schoolers and for our adults. And we're going to be doing that in either June or July. That course will get you practiced up enough to pass the associate level cert, the Unity Associate Programmer certification. And that's part of the course. You know, if you want to write the cert at the end of the course, that's part of it. And then in the fall, we're going to launch a pro level Unity programming course. So let me just play a little video here. I hope I got the sound right, and I hope that you all can see my screen, I assume. Okay, I'm going to show you a little trailer. This is our get some popcorn, everybody, and tell me what you think when it's done. I hope you can hear it. Can you guys hear the sound? Because I can't. Oh man, that blows. Wait, sound. You're sharing your sound from your computer. The sound's up. Ah!
Sounds good.
Okay. All right. So that's our little promo thing. Can you still hear me? Yes, I think you can. And we're gonna be running some workshopping this summer. It's gonna kind of run similar. Some of you may know how we kind of roll over here. So it'll be like a boot camp style summer session where Monday to Thursday nights we're running through some curriculum and you're developing games and you're getting practice up. You're developing your own game and getting practiced up and just building games and having fun with a small team of people. So if you're interested in any of our programs, if you've got high schoolers and you want to get them involved, our high school program is really interesting, and I should rap about it, but I won't take too much time. We have a similar kind of track to the fast forward thing where you can come and get an associate's degree. That's launching. We just actually got accredited, so we'll be like issuing associate's degrees for our programming here. And so for youngsters that go through our high school program, we have small cohorts of high schoolers graduating from our half-day program, and they walk into $65,000 jobs at age 18, and so now they can take that associate's degree, they can start a job, they can make that good money, and they can take that associate's degree and go off to Tulane or go off to Delgado or go off to UNO at night school or LSU at night school and continue on a computer science program and never take out a student loan. And so that's what I just want to blast out and let everybody know that's happening out of Operation Spark. So if you've got youngsters and you want to get them in the game and you want to get them earning and doing fun stuff, they can come here first and do all of that and then partner up with all these other fine people on this Zoom. So that's Operation Spark. I'll pass it back to the presenters, and thanks everybody. Great to see each of you.
Thank you very much, John. Wow, so many exciting developments happening all over Louisiana. 16-year-old Chris is super excited. I wish that I could have gone to get an associate's degree when I was in high school, and then maybe go to college and get a 4-year degree in video game development. Right on, thank you, John. So to kind of round us out, I think Calder is going to give us a little taste of what it is that we've got cooking over at NOGD.
Howdy. I'm gonna share my screen really quick.
We lost the audio.
Yeah, you're muted.
I'm not muted anymore. Here I am.
There you are.
Let me share my screen really quickly. I think it should be this one up here. And I'm going to move this guy down here and start a little slideshow. Everyone can hear me? Meetup. Yeah. Oh. Wait, Zoom quit unexpected. Am I still running? That's weird. It looks like my audience is still up there. Zoom is freaking out right now. So I'm going to quickly. Looks like things sort of messed up a little bit on my end. 1 second, sorry. Just gonna try one more time here. And let's start the slideshow. Everything looks hunky-dory so far. Okay, anyways, it works now. I'm Calder, I'm with NOGD, along with Chris, Ben, and Curtis, who is not with us right now. If you are watching right now, you are watching because us here at NOGD like to host fun little meetings like this every third Thursday, and the Education Summit is something we do yearly. We try to get everyone involved so they know the best sort of access to education they can have in our little game dev community in New Orleans. And hopefully we just want to make sure that community grows and gets bigger and more people get involved, and just our goal is to make sure all of that gets easier if you are so inclined. We do a couple of things. We clearly have our big old community. If you're watching on Discord, you'll be watching from our community. You will find a link to that Discord all over this presentation, as well as all over whatever thing you're watching on. We have meetups like this one. We also have other meetups. We'll go into detail on that. We host game jams. We have small little classes. We take hardware donations and we give out hardware donations, and we do more. First of all, our community, if you really want to get involved, most of our stuff kind of goes through our Discord. Feel free to follow that little QR code. If you are not already watching from our Discord, come chat. We've got hack nights every Tuesday. If you want to just mess around and show what weirdo stuff you're working on, join our Hack Night Boys channel. Show off what you're working on. There'll be other people around to show off the weird stuff they're doing too. We host a lot of our classes over Discord, so a lot of the time, either me or Ben or Curtis, or really if anyone wants to get involved, they can join up on the Discord and get in a little channel, and they can teach a little bit if they want to. They don't have to. I like doing it. Ben likes doing it. We teach things from coding to 3D modeling. I'll get to more of that later. And we also have some recruitment stuff that is particularly relevant right now. But every now and then, recruiters will come through, post listings, and if you're looking for work, at the very least, we can put you in the direction of some folks who might be interested in hiring. In addition, a lot of our meetups will still kind of go through Discord. So yeah, if you want to be involved in our community, please, by all means, join our Discord. We have all sorts of relevant social media links as well, but Discord is our primary way of communication. We do meetups. We love having people around to talk to and show off the stuff that we do in the community. Our primary meetup at this point is probably our third Thursdays. It's been that way for a while, but we also have these show and tell meetups, which are every Wednesday at the Sea Cave. We just encourage anyone to come by with anything. We'll have an HDMI cord. You can hook it up to the TV, but if for some reason it's analog, that's fine too. Bring your painting, bring your board game, bring your sculpture, bring your card game, bring whatever, bring your raw code. Whatever you want, bring it. We'll have people around to talk to about it, play test it, or just give you feedback, or just to say, hey, that's cool. Additionally, we do these Thursday meetups like you're watching right now. Usually we'll have a speaker come by and they'll talk about something that they do professionally or something that they have accomplished recently, and it'll just be a talk between us and them, and we'll have sort of questions yielded to the audience afterwards. But additionally, sometimes we have other weirdo stuff, like we had a draw-thon all the way back on the 27th that was sort of going to angle into a choose-your-own-adventure video game. it's a little bit on hold right now as we figure out other stuff, but we'd love to have weirdo, strange things that we can do on Thursdays, and just sort of anything that can, you know, sort of stimulate the mind to think of weird stuff you can do in games. We also host game jams. We love doing game jams. We do so many game jams. Traditionally, we do big stuff for the Global Game Jam. That would be your top and bottom images right there. Those are kind of our big ones. We try to align with that. This year, we got participation with Loyola's esports arena and team to host it there, and it was pretty fun, honestly. The first, I mean, like every game jam we've ever had, COVID kind of got in the way at a certain point, but, you know, that's not going away, and we're not going away either. So we love hosting these game jams. We also have our seasonal, I should say, somewhat seasonal game jams, which the last one was our peach game jam. We've had strawberry game jam, blueberry game jam. Those are typically longer, as we like the idea of sort of giving a somewhat more polished jam experience. They are focused on hosting those games in an arcade cabinet we have at Sea Cave called the Sea Cab. It's just full of indie games from our community and friends from around the sort of nation, I guess world. And we just try to make the best game we can in 10 days. You're free to make a game for it in 10 days. You're free to keep working on that game. And if you want to just host any of your games on that cabinet, just let us know. It's open season. Love anyone's products that can work on it, and I'll work with you personally to make sure it works on the cabinet. We'll usually have those jams, however, seasonally, and they'll be around 10 days. We'll have classes, we'll have on-site jams, we'll have off-site jam portionality. It's a little bit of a hybrid, but it's a lot of fun. So those classes, we mostly host on Discord. We do art and programming. I typically teach a lot of the art stuff. I'll do a lot of like intro to 3D stuff, but lately I thought it might be fun to have a couple of stuff in there that's more advanced. Last one I did was on blend shapes and shape keys, which is a really fun thing to do. That is surprisingly easy in 3D animation, but essentially, it's open to the community. We'll have intro stuff. We'll have advanced stuff. It just sort of depends on who wants to teach what. And we want to have more in-person stuff. A lot of that sort of co-aligns with our hopes to one day have an actual physical space for people to come by. But if anyone would want us to come by and teach a course for whatever reason, we're here for you. We'd love to just wander on through. We're always available. Finally, we are a 501c3. We take donations. We've had this for a while, but we probably need to tell people more often. We will take anything. I don't care what it is. Preferably, if it's something that has something to do with game dev, that's pretty good. We can move that around the community better. But if you give us a boat, as I was told by my little 501c3 mentor, we'll sell that boat, and we'll put that boat back towards the cause. So, any of the hardware we get, on the other hand, we try to redistribute to our community. We've given a bunch of computers out to go start their games. We've given some computers back to Sea Cave. If people are looking for monitors, PCs, anything, we'll try to give what we have in our inventory that is applicable towards whatever your cause is. And if not for gratis, we'll ask the most minimal amount for it. So usually free, except maybe on very select circumstances where that money could really go towards some programming for us. If you want to give donations, if it's hardware or physical items, donations at NewOrleansGameDev.org. Email that. We are 501c3 again. We will totally send you a receipt with the monetized sort of information on it. Give it back to the tax man. That's a write-off. Additionally, we have a PayPal link on our website. And if you want to give over there, totally fine place to give it to. And that's really it. I didn't want to waste too much of your time. That's kind of the gist of what we're doing. We're probably doing more stuff. We're planning on getting a lab. We're trying to get a physical space. Clearly do stuff like this. We are trying to also get back to a more consistent third Thursday Meetup space. We might have something really fun to announce about that soon, should everything go right in the next coming days. But in the meantime, thanks for coming, everyone. Really appreciate y'all sticking through for all this. And sorry if I talked a little too fast. I love doing little presentation stuff. And Thanks, y'all. I will stop sharing.
Right on. Thanks, Calder. Yeah, so much exciting stuff going on. I'm really excited to see it. So we're gonna take a few questions here, but before we do that, if anyone has any questions, you can post them in Discord, on our Meetup channel. You can post them in comments in Meetup channel. Yeah.
Meetup channel, general. I think
General,
gathering everything.
Also in the Zoom, that's fine too. And just to reiterate what Calder was saying, we will take anything for donations. We're working on a few things, and we find that we have some pretty resourceful folks and some great creatives, and we can pretty much make anything happen. It's pretty incredible to see. So while we're scouring questions, I actually have a few questions of some of the presenters. So one of the things that I thought I saw go by that AIE was creating, was that a game there? Was it like a dating app? Was that what I saw there?
I'm trying to think which game.
My screen covers all the names, so unfortunately I didn't get it. I had to like duck around to try to see what it was. It was I think it was a class of 22, possibly.
Was it earlier on? Yeah, so a lot of the games that we try to focus on, we didn't have a dating sim, unfortunately. The middle stuff might have been, that might have been the year 2 VFX project.
Oh.
It's talking about the alien and like the people behind the counter
Yeah.
thing. Yeah. So I was like scrubbing through the video, like, dating sim, which one? I was like, they are cool enough to make a dating sim. No. But we try to emphasize a lot of the games that they do create, at least because of the lack of designers right now. A lot more focused on like platformers or vehicle combat or things that that a lack of design can kind of like help with. More open-ish design is a good portfolio piece. But yeah, with the VFX projects, we kind of help scope out the story and figure out like what is good and sustainable for like a 3 to 5 month period for them to develop. So
Very cool. Very cool. I've got questions for days. Checking in with our technician here, Ben Walker. Okay, I have a question for Nick Sinro. Did I see that there was a dual enrollment option there? Is that what's happening over at Delgado?
Yeah, so that would involve like an interested student would probably communicate with their high school counselor, and then we would figure out what that student's transcript looks like, and then make sure that the courses that they're kind of selecting, that student is either able to take that course maybe online on their current high school campus and fit that into their traditional day, or if that student has the availability to come to Delgado's campus. So usually when a student's interested in engaging in a dual enrollment situation, that would involve some kind of contacting an advisor. So either myself or Father Richard can figure out, what is the student's current coursework? What classes maybe are they ready to schedule for, and what does that logistically look like as far as transportation, or can they take that online at their own school?
Right on. Is that the same kind of process at Operation Spark, John?
Yeah, it is. It's really similar. We have a couple of different kind of options there for students to take. Like right now, we have transfer credits available to students for our program, so they can go over to, say, Tulane's SOPA program and get a year's worth of credit, or they could go over to Delgado and get 24 seat credits. Is that what it is? Our credits, yeah. at Delgado. And then same thing, there's a few other participating LTCTS colleges as well. And then I did mention earlier, it's kind of a large bureaucratic kind of thing that we have to do. But we just did receive our accreditation yesterday. We got accredited, so it's a big deal. It's like the accreditation body for say Tulane University or UNO is probably called SACS, and they're like a big council of like Star Wars characters that make your organization adhere to a bunch of standards. And so we have that also now through the COE. It's called the Council for Occupational Education, and it's a very similar accreditation body of Star Wars characters that make you adhere to standards. So that accreditation will allow us to then issue an associate's degree. And so we'll have sort of two versions of that associate's degree coming up. One that is an occupational one that'll get you a certain amount of credits, kind of similar to the partnerships we already have with Delgado and with UNO. And then we'll have a full associate's degree where we will partner with, say, Nunez or Delgado, and the students will be able to do the dual enrollment stuff for their arts and science electives, and then do all their kind of like sciencey computer science stuff over here. And that'll get you like a full associate's degree.
Wow, that's incredible. So theoretically, if I was in high school today, I could graduate with an associate's degree, and then I could potentially go to an institution like UNO and then get my 4-year degree, and then potentially I could get a master's at LSU or AIE. Well, I guess AIE would be the associate's degree, so there's multiple paths to the associate's degree, and eventually I could get the 4-year degree plus the master's all within Louisiana. Is that what's happening right now? Is that where we're at? All right.
That's a fact. That is a fact, yep.
We're in the right place at the right time. I kid, because I know that I know that the amount of work that everyone here has done has been considerable, and I know that everyone believes in doing such great things within our community, and that's even beginning before an associate's degree. You could hang around with us NOGD crew, and you could find out all sorts of paths and all sorts of cool projects to work on and things like that. It just makes me so happy to be here in Louisiana at this time. We're doing our best and I think it shows through when we look at our motivations. We're looking to bring good jobs to students and to folks here, to try to get them a better future and things like that, and a creative future, and have a really good time while they're doing the work. So I applaud everyone. I thank you so much for being here. Obviously, I know the amount of work that everyone's been doing is just incredible. If you're watching this, or if you're seeing this after it's been streamed, or you're watching this as a recording,
Hold on, I have a question from the Discord.
We got a question from Discord?
Yeah, I think for LSU, Mark, I think, does your BA need to be digital art for your joint LSU DMAE grad program?
Yeah, for the 3 and 2, it's a digital art and master's degree, yes.
Okay, thank you.
Incredible. So yeah, as I was saying, just the amount of opportunities here to get an education, and then therefore to be able to get work is pretty incredible here. And if you're watching this and you're seeing this after it's been recorded, and you're watching this, say, on our YouTube channel or something like that, I do want to say that I've had great interaction with all of these folks that are here. They're consummate professionals, and they're always open to talking to somebody about their journey in the industry and what it is that they believe could be the best fit for you, as far as getting an education or getting a job, or even doing industry research. to find out if it's for you or what types of things that you might want to look into. If they can't give you that answer, usually they're connected pretty quickly to somebody who's currently working in the industry. So I think it's pretty important to make sure that if you're not getting a chance to ask your question right now, reach out to one of these folks or ask the question on our Discord at some point, and we'll try to help connect you to who we think is best for you to speak to. Let's see if there's anybody in the caller section. Nobody in Discord.
Being shy. But they are watching.
Folks are watching, and that's good. I understand. I can be quite introverted. I think kind of when it comes to the science and the art of making video games, we tend to work by ourselves a lot of the time, and so talk to somebody doesn't necessarily come real quickly. But again, I do say please do reach out to us or to some of the professionals here in the industry. They're always open to answering questions, and they're really easy to approach too. So, but I do want to thank everybody again for another successful education summit. We're hoping that folks are able to ask the questions that they can, and that they can get out to talk to you as a result of the presentations that you've given. Every year that we do this, I think this is the third time we've done this. Every year, there's just so many more developments, and it makes me really excited for the future for the game industry in Louisiana. So thank you again, and thank you for helping us work together in building the industry here. I really appreciate it. So again, we're gonna post the recordings on our YouTube channel, and we'll probably have that on Twitch as well. So we'll post those links later on once we get them kind of tidied up and edited. And then any information that we can provide on the web addresses for all of our institutions and contact information, we'll share that as well. Again, thank you so much. We appreciate it. We couldn't do this without you. And we hope you have a great evening.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thanks everybody. Great to
Thanks,
see-
everyone.
Thank you for putting it together. It's fantastic.